Lawrence. We're coming to you from outside the Pallet Village at 256 North Michigan Street. Wanted to do a little addendum to the article that you may have read in the Lawrence Journal World, where Chad Lawhorn detailed some of the problems with the community building. Now, and as you'll notice in his article, there's several pictures here referenced. Now, I don't know how long Chad has these pictures and how long he waits to get information from people, but I can assure you that these pictures were made available to some folks at the end of April. So these problems have existed around here for quite a while. In the article, you'll see that James Chisholm is quoted as saying, "As an executive director in charge of caring for people, I have some of the same concerns. I've voiced my concerns and they've been addressing them as they come up. We do have plans to address the standing water." How long does it take us to address some of these issues? I want to go ahead and discuss another issue that's come up, and that is the site agreements folks at LCS are being expected to sign. And I'm referring specifically to the new site agreements that they prepared and passed out to folks in early May, I believe, before a meeting was scheduled to answer questions and have them sign this. Now, part of the problem that we've always had is the fact that city and staff have always felt like people had to give up their constitutional rights in here. That's where I come in. I'm going to go ahead and quote from pages 9 and 10 of this new site agreement that was put out, and this is acknowledgement of the search and seizure policy. It begins with: "The village reserves the right to conduct searches to monitor compliance with rules. This is concerning the safety of guests, security of the shelter and individual property, drug and alcohol, and possession of other prohibited items." The problem that we have is this search, and it says, "In addition to shelter common areas, the shelter may search guests, their sleeping areas, lockers, personal vehicles. However, a guest who refuses to submit to a search request from the shelter will face disciplinary action, up to and possibly including immediate termination from services."
I do know.
Okay,
But I'm
so
just saying that's what they told me. They investigated, they found those to be credible, so they thought it'd be best to exit you until they determine how long that should be.
well, the determination would tell you that, well, if it was Billy or Vance or anything like that, that's just. I have it too. I have text on my phone too where he threatened me, but it's just stupid. We were arguing. So if that's the case, but if you don't tell me who it is, then how would I know whether you're lying or they're lying or what?
You think I'm lying?
I don't know. I don't even really know who you are. Seriously, I've
met
only
you
this is the
the other
second
day.
time I've met you.
Right.
So I don't know who you are. I know these guys. I've known them for a year and a half.
Okay.
I don't know who you are. But you don't tell me who this person who it is that I supposedly threatened.
You asked me to tell you why you were exiting.
Right, okay,
And
so I can show you
telling
text too from someone else that they'd be threatened, they'd be exited too. None of this makes any sense. I don't get it. You won't tell me who I threatened.
Can you request your advocate's help?
Yes, please. I have before many times. I need their help because I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so what I'm understanding is that, yes, she asked you the question as far as why she was being exited. You responded with the fact that you were notified that she had threatened someone and that they had investigated that situation and validated or found it to be true, or at least credible. I'm
they
sorry.
saw the text.
Okay,
actually.
credible. Okay, so now we got
Somebody
one.
else wrote a statement
Okay.
and all that, and
Cool.
so
Okay, so we don't know what the processes are, and so do you guys have written processes on how people make formal complaints and what that looks like?
of course.
Can you provide that information so that way one of your tenants or your residents who now have been removed knows what her rights are?
Yeah, she can appeal those.
Well,
Okay,
no,
but what-
She doesn't even have the information.
Information to appeal.
She doesn't have the information.
She can get it. If you send a text to Savannah, which is your case manager, she can email.
See, I just found that out too. I didn't know Savannah was my case.
Okay, so Savannah's your case manager. This is important information to know.
Right.
I
So-
do that on Monday, I believe.
Okay.
But they say they told you before. I just go by what I told
So
you.
is Savannah, I don't know who Savannah is. Does she work for Bert Nash or
She works for me.
for LCS?
She's
I don't
the
know who
case
she is.
manager. I know.
Okay. Okay, so your case manager is Savannah with LCS. So supposedly she can make you essentially provide you need to provide information on what the processes are, the procedures are, and what your rights are. Because essentially right now they're basing it off an allegation that was made. You haven't had the opportunity to defend yourself. You're essentially just being exited without the opportunity to defend yourself. So.
And now we gotta wait till Monday?
Well, no, I think what's the time frame? So
don't know what
what's
they
the
told
expectation?
They said they didn't know.
She hasn't been provided any
They
information.
don't know anything. She couldn't tell me
So
anything.
are you in charge of Pallet as well as this?
Yes,
Okay,
he's the
well then
operations.
why don't they know what's going on?
Who doesn't know?
Well, apparently.
Juniper
people-
and...
They do know,
Liz.
and I was told that they informed you of all this.
No, they did not.
All I
You
can
were on
tell
the
you is
phone.
what
They
I
said they
was
wouldn't.
informed of, that they told you all this.
Well, she's telling you that she wasn't informed of it.
Okay.
So now she needs to be informed and she
And
needs to be able to get
I
access.
believe I said if you emailed your case manager, if you have an email address, I can make sure that you get that information.
Okay.
So in the meantime,
In
Or
the
you can
meantime-
email
What
me.
about shelter in the meantime?
In the
James?
meantime, what's the option for
You
shelter?
can always come here for night by night.
And they're not gonna take her in now? They're gonna
No,
make us.
intake's at 7.
So you are suggesting that she's gotta find a place to stay?
Am I suggesting that?
Well, I'm asking you if you are suggesting that.
No, I'm suggesting that we do have night by night available.
so but I can't go back to my pallet to get my stuff or to be in my
Not
home.
if you've been exited.
How does she get access to her stuff, her personal property?
She can call and make arrangements to get it.
And what can she do now? So you don't have intake until 7, and that was that lady told me before she shut that window in my face. Okay, so we have to bring her back here at 7. Is that correct?
That's when intakes are for night by night.
Access her things.
I just said I can get them. If you can pick them up now, I can make sure you get them right now. I
Well,
just
you
said
couldn't
that.
go where with them?
you couldn't even make sure that your staff gave her the proper information.
I can do it now. That's what I'm saying.
No, you're not saying that. This is where we're going around in circles,
Okay.
James. We're going around in circles, so I think we're probably
It's
done
fine.
here. because you're just not-
I think the frustration, James,
I know it's
is you are that you're answering the questions right now, but essentially we've already been out here for 10 minutes to get an answer, where you're just now offering to essentially allow her access. 5 minutes ago, she had to reach out to her case manager.
That's what we do normally. So, but you said, what can I do to help now? I can do that now.
Okay.
But you're asking me, and I'm answering all the questions.
No,
Some
you're
of these
not answering the questions,
situations,
so don't say that.
some of these is where essentially, basically, there has been an accusation. Yes, you have the responsibility not to protect all of your residents. So if there's potentially a resident that could be threatened or could potentially be at harm because of one of your other residents, that makes sense that you have a process in place that essentially investigates that. But that does not mean, the whole, innocent until proven guilty. At this point right now, she wasn't even made aware. She essentially was notified at the time that she was removed and given no rights.
Right now?
Man, we have to speak whenever you have time. 'Cause
Okay,
something
I
can
will-
change. Yeah.
All right. But I'm kind of in the middle of
I
something
know,
right now.
and I knew that, but man,
I know.
You
I
don't
was
even
talking to Meredith before they came.
So you don't have a transition process in place to expel somebody, when you expel somebody
No.
from Pallet?
They don't.
No, we don't.
And they don't have a process in place other than they have to essentially reach out to their case manager, but we're dealing with very vulnerable individuals that don't have access
But they don't seem
to,
to get that.
but they don't, that's where our frustration is.
I mean, that's one of the points.
The unhoused individuals that we're dealing with don't have access to all these things, to jump through all these hoops to be able to prove themselves innocent or to at least have a fighting chance.
Okay.
And that's the frustration is. It took 2 advocates to drive, well, I drove 40 minutes to get here. To essentially, I had to have someone pick her up because she was basically thrown out and told that she was going to be trespassed. So we had to have someone pick her up and essentially get her here because they would refuse to have you go there to meet her. She is in a wheelchair, for goodness sakes, with no vehicle. And I understand that you're saying that's not what my staff told me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you at this point, if your staff had done the right thing, wouldn't you be wondering how she would make her way to LCS?
No.
You wouldn't? So that's not a concern of yours?
It might be a concern, but I wouldn't be wondering about it.
Okay.
Oh, you wouldn't be wondering about it?
No, I wouldn't be.
Why not?
Because everybody has to find a way here. The buses run. I mean, you get on the bus and come out here. That's
Yeah,
why
get on
everybody
the
else does
bus.
it.
Okay, so
Yeah,
basically
okay.
she had no ability to defend herself. She had no ability to dispute anything. She essentially got her stuff. She wasn't allowed access to her stuff. She was told to leave. She was told if she did not leave, she would be trespassed, which essentially could be criminalization into an arrest if she refused to leave. At that point, her options were to get on a bus to be able to find you or access you to be able to get decisions made, because they refused, your staff refused to give her the information.
I'm not gonna
That's
say all that.
I was on the
what
phone. I was on speakerphone. My son
With
had
me?
me. No, my son had me on the phone. I was
me?
on the phone. I was on the phone with your manager. I think
Okay.
her name is Juniper.
It is.
And she refused to give the information to not only me, but also to
You
Lori.
told me that. You
Yes,
told me
I know. So I'm just telling you again that it's not just Lori saying that she had, that she was essentially, best practices were violated. Just dignity was violated. I mean, everything that we're supposed to be standing for was essentially violated in this situation. And your staff member, your manager, who's supposed to be running Pallet, was refusing to provide any assistance because ultimately she was the perpetrator. Even though, again, she has not had the chance. She hasn't been found guilty.
Nobody
We don't know
ever
exactly.
is found guilty.
I have to go, so.
Well, I mean, she's being persecuted essentially, or she's being
Okay.
consequenced for those
I'm
actions.
gonna go, this is not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
So 7 o'clock, they have to get a way to get her back here, and then we'll see if they can take her or not.
Well, I mean,
Because if
she
you
wants
can't
to
take
try.
her, well, she does, so maybe you could make that happen now, if you think you can, James.
Tell me when you're gonna be over here to pick it
Right
up.
now.
Right now.
Let me call first to see if they can, because I don't think they're gonna let her come back on the village.
Well, you're gonna have to figure it out, James, because you're on the verge of a lawsuit.
Tell me your name one more time.
I have Nancy Snow, that's
Nancy?
S-N-O-W, in case you wanna know.
I always like to know who's threatening me.
Well,
So-
I'm not threatening you.
You
I'm
just
stating,
said-
I'm stating a fact.
But it's
so
still a
let's
threat.
just make it the case that I'm
It-
going to
it-
play
it-
your
it's
game
still a threat.
and say that I am stating a fact. You're on the verge of a lawsuit.
Okay.
And, you can record that and put that in your little
No,
black
I'm
book
on
or
the
whatever
phone. I wouldn't record you.
else. Oh, I bet you would,
I
pal.
don't have to do that.
Boy, what a shit show.
I just
You're a
don't
disgrace.
I just don't know. I just don't believe that they don't know anything about the dignity standards for pallets. I mean, that's a
It's
requirement to
disgraceful.
have a pallet in your community.
It's
So
just
I mean,
disgraceful.
I understand that it's the city's pallet, but at the same time,
Well,
to
if he's-
hire an operations
If
someone to
he-
operate it who doesn't know what the dignity standards are.
Okay, if he has a contract with the city, then we're contacting the city commissioners.
Correct.
There's another threat for you. I put threat in
That's
scare
not a
quotes.
threat.
Oh, well, I'm glad we're defining threats and facts differently, huh? I can see why Merity wanted to leave here.
So we're like, okay, so basically it's Savannah.
Yeah, Savannah's a case manager.
Okay, do you have Savannah's information?
The what?
Do you have Savannah's information? Have you ever even met Savannah?
Okay.
You met her twice and she didn't provide you any access information to her or contact information? That's weird. Is that part of the procedures or requirements for the case managers to at least
He's
provide?
on the phone, he can't multitask.
Oh, well, okay. I guess I'll ask that afterwards.
Oh, ask him when he gets off the phone.
What he told me was
Nancy, where's Liz? You there by yourself? Are you there by yourself? Not really. What about Juniper?
Talk about a waste of space.
Yeah, I did. They're probably in program coordination. Let me speak to Ashley.
Has been giving us a lot around for the past 20 minutes. Man is a disgrace.
Nancy.
I'm going to be talking to the city council about this.
You go to your appointment. I got it. Go.
Am I not helping anymore?
No. That's what I'm doing right now.
They're going great. Everything's going good.
Oh, it's going great. It's going good.
I'll call you.
All right, thanks.
I got her. She's good for right now. Thank you,
That's
Nancy.
good. Did you see my email about tomorrow? Is that tomorrow? Yeah. Can you do that tomorrow?
She's got an appointment, but I'm not
That's
leaving
why I
you.
copied you on that.
You're stuck with me, friend.
So you could, yeah. I'll be willing to do that. They're gonna meet us there. How long have you been there? You've been there all afternoon? Okay, thanks. Hey, is there anybody there that can pack Lori's stuff?
No, I don't want anybody packing this stuff. I don't want anybody touching this stuff.
Okay, so we have to make, hold on, we're gonna have to
Yeah.
make an agreement. Hold on a minute. So if you're requesting your
I
stuff,
don't
that
know,
is
but
what they're
she's
gonna
here.
require.
She wants to pick up her
Just leave it
stuff,
there.
and I said we
Let's leave
can.
it there. I don't want to get into
Now she doesn't want it. Hold on.
Well, what she's saying is she would like dignity, which means someone else not going through her stuff, which is completely understandable. I think you would understand that too, if someone was going through your stuff. So at this point, she chooses not to come get her stuff because she doesn't want someone else going through her stuff.
She doesn't want to.
We'll take care of it.
All right. Do y'all have a way to contact Lori?
Hi, I'm here to see Emily Morbid. I'm her case manager.
So could you? Okay, then would you send her the appeals process? Okay. I guess a copy of the rules that she got.
We have to
Says
sign a
she never
contract.
got it.
Well, you would have asked, it would have been nice if you ever take something you sign and not get a copy of it, friend.
I did ask
All right, just make sure she gets a copy
Everybody has
of
a
it.
copy.
Just email it to her, text it to her.
Okay, well, that's fine. Yes, we need a copy of the
Can you do
agreement that
that?
you signed. So that way you're aware of what the rules are. We need to know what the processes are for you to appeal,
All right.
or
So-
basically appeal their decision,
All right.
and then
So I
essentially
told
what
her that she
processes
could
they
come
put
over
in
here
place.
I told her she could come over at 7 o'clock for night by night. 7 p.m. Okay. She was told that she didn't get any of this information, that she wasn't told why she was being exited. What else?
No, she was told, let me rephrase. She was told that she was being exited,
She was told she was being exited.
and the reason why was because she had made a threat.
Oh, okay.
I never
by
said,
Juniper?
yeah, I never
Y'all
said that
just
that
told me she didn't know why
No,
she
sir,
was
that's
being
not what I
exited.
said.
She told me. That's what she
Sir.
told me.
Excuse me, can I finish? What I was saying is, no, James, you're not going to spin this. What I said was that Juniper, when we asked what the processes were, that Juniper would not provide the processes of how she could appeal.
But let me say
Never
this.
once did we say that she wasn't told why she was
But
exiting.
yes, I wasn't. I asked, I kept asking her why. She says, we can't tell you why. We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know. That's what they said.
You told me out of your mouth when
Sir,
I
I've had the whole
thing.
thing recorded,
Good.
so that's great.
Good.
I'm glad.
Good.
I'm glad because it'll be very clear as what I said and what you said.
All right.